asked for investigations about the group that on the 21st of February 2026 surrounded Kisumu Airport with crude weapons at the roundabout, an international airport, and a highway that connects two countries, and stayed there for several hours. I personally was able to get through in a construction truck, and I saw them with my own eyes. Why, whether you've conducted investigations, who are these people? What was their aim? What was the purpose? And what has been the outcome of those investigations? Secondly, on 8th April 2026, Senator Honorable Geoffrey Osotsi was attacked in Kisumu by about 17 goons. 3 of them have since presented themselves to the police, not arrested, presented themselves. I believe there's a sufficient technology to identify the 17 who were captured on CCTV cameras. Why have they not been arrested up to now? And finally, on 26th April 2026, there's going to be a rally in Kisumu. Could you give us, as Linda Mwananchi, the assurance that the state will provide sufficient security and not be part of the previous disorder that we have seen in our rallies?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. But on Osotsi, I think we had the response. And even Caroli, you contributed so much on the same. So maybe just follow up to the same, but we got a response. But as you respond, Waziri, just want to add one thing. As we are continuing on this, in this place right now, there is some kind of unrest in town regarding the protest on the fuel prices. Maybe you can also give the country a little bit update on the country's security situation.
Maybe that's part of the reason why you should let us also go back to work.
Trying to read.
Yes. Thank you.
Chair, maybe I could say something before Waziri comments.
Let me finish and then
this one.
Because
the speaker had already made a ruling
there are some issues which have been raised.
Later.
Like when you expect the minister to be the investigator, I don't think that is within his
Okay, you will have your time, Aduma, please.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
The chair had already.
Chair, first on security roads, let me combine the question by Honorable Korere and Honorable Umi. In both cases, security or infrastructure, if you look at the report, we are saying marginalization is contributing immensely to the question of insecurity. The issue of banditry and the issue of Al-Shabaab and all these other problems we are facing in the arid and semi-arid lands of Kenya is actually directly linked to marginalization. And that you improve infrastructure, irrigation, education, connectivity, communication. When you improve all these things, the level of security improves, because then accessibility enables you to track and respond to any security challenge very fast. We reckon that, the history shows that the road Isiolo to Moyale contributed immensely to a huge drop in terms of crime, because the criminals were taking advantage of the slow road, places to put IEDs and so forth. The road of Isiolo, Modokashe, Wajir, Samatar up to Mandera is believed that it will really change northern Kenya in a big way. And so the same to Garissa Liboi, and the same to the road from Lamu Ijara. If you see that the criminal gangs are targeting those roads, it's because they know, not criminal gangs but terrorists are targeting those roads, is because they know that as soon as the road is done, they will not have the advantage of planting IEDs, and then the vehicles can move at a better speed and the security can respond very fast. In fact, His Excellency the President has been planning to do now or he's planning to do airports. The airport in Mandera, the one in Elwak, and Garissa was done recently. So in border airports also will help us to respond very fast as a security team. So there is a direct correlation between infrastructure and security improvement, and infrastructure and security response. And I cannot overemphasize that. The National Security Council recognizes that fact. The government of Kenya recognizes that fact. Part of the reason why there is a greater investment, including the planted dams and irrigation projects and education programs in the pastoralist and marginalized areas, is to respond to this issue. And for the Mukokodo forest, already the National Security Council gave a direction on security roads. 1 billion shillings was set aside, provided for in the budget. It's with the Ministry of Roads, and we're working together with the Ministry of Roads to see part of the roads include Mukokodo forest roads, how they can be implemented either by KERA or use KDF to help us, especially in these very difficult places like Mukokodo Forest, where access is a big issue. And so for the Honorable Member, I will work with the Ministry of Roads to ensure that this is delivered. On the solutions, I think many people are saying that why am I coming here to look like I'm writing another book of lamentations on the question of gangs? I am not lamenting only. I am actually seeking for your support. You see, security operations cannot succeed in an environment where there's resistance by the public and by leadership. When we did the operation that we did in Kitale, you saw one of the leaders coming, to the media and say, oh, youth are being targeted. This government is targeting you. Okay, the same youth attacked young people who are registering voters. So we need public support, because where there is interference, leaders play a significant role, and they are powerful and important. Leaders can mobilize 10,000, 20,000 people. There is no amount of police officers in a rural county that can defend public institutions or individuals against mobilize 10,000, 20,000 people. So I have said it, and I want to repeat that irresponsible leaders are the greatest threat to national security. That is period. And using such platforms to raise the level of awareness and ask for national consensus conversation. I am happy that now there is a conversation. Everybody is crying about gangs. There was a time it was monopolized by a few leaders. Now it is owned by more leaders, and they are fighting with more leaders. So the whole place is chaotic. And the people who are causing this chaos are those in leadership. This is the right forum for me to raise the awareness. No amount of guns, bullets, tear gas can resolve this problem. Let me tell you, if you, a small county like Busia, not so small, if you were counting the number of police officers in that place, there are very few officers, and they are focused on police station, general duties, administrative work, and so forth. To have even a rapid response unit there, maybe one unit. To have, you can't even have there, you can't say you have enough GSU. So the first point of call when it comes to safety of the people is a society that has a consensus about living together in harmony, a dignified political discourse that focuses on issues, competition that is around issues. I must say that I'm very proud of my county. Not to say this here, but Elgeyo Marakwet is one of the counties that has no single criminal gang, no goons. It is the only county where, I was a senator just the other day, you can give a lift to your opponent. You're going together to a baraza. You talk, and you can even ask your opponent, nisaidia 5,000, kwa sababu wewe you are in office, na unaweza peana 50 kwa Harambee, nisaidia 5. People laugh after the campaigns and they go home. But in a number of counties, leaders cannot just come to church. Merely church function is impossible. You go to some church Harambees and you cannot even, someone cannot even be preached. Some characters who are drunk behind there are shouting, two-term this one, two-term the other one. one time this one time the other one. It's just unbelievable. So it will, I must emphasize, Chairman, it is not a policing issue. It should not be a gun issue. It should not be an enforcement issue. It's a question of good manners. Yeah, it's an issue of leadership, that the entire leadership must rise in one accord to accept that we need to bring order to our country. And that's why we are raising this issue here. Some leaders, and I agree with Honorable Kaunya, some leaders, their only claim to leadership is actually eliminating his opponents. You know, making it impossible for any opponent to come in. And they are proudly going around saying, this is the deterrent measures are put in place. Nobody can address a meeting in my constituency if he's going to mention my name. So the only way they are in office is because there's no other one. Because he has beaten all the other people, he has harassed them, he sent goons. Those leaders, if today we were successful, and we are attempting, we are working hard to do so, to arrest all his people and take away with the gangs, they will never get a single vote. The only reason why the voter puts their name there is because they either terrorize them or they have eliminated their opponents. This culture must come to an end. Lastly, judiciary. This is, I don't know, I mean, in the first lesson of constitutional law, you will be told in first year that there are things that judges must take judicial notice. You don't need to plead it before a court of law for them to appreciate that the country is suffering because of these acts of goons and gangs. But yet, judges are still releasing these people to the public. They don't care about the bail terms. As long as a number of opposition leaders have appeared before court, it is enough proof to say that rights have been violated and release these people to go. When you're saying we have done nothing, when after the protest of 2025, over 1,000 people were arrested by the by the IG, including those who banned police station in Kikuyu, in Olkalau, in all these other places. What happened? What happened? The courts released them. Of course, you know, leaders made noise, hey, Watiangu. The courts released them. They went back to their society. They were back the other day. They were in Kikuyu and other places. And this circle will continue if we do not get the support of the judiciary. So no matter, notwithstanding what the DCI and IG here will do, without the conscious support of the judiciary, this country, and you know, we know they banned courts. So there is nobody who is infallible. Now, and on the question of criminal justice system, yes, I've seen that. Interference from Syria Command, it is true. During Jukwaa Usalama, most of the police officers were saying that you carry out serious enforcement, a phone call comes from Nairobi, you are transferred. Okay? You are either transferred or you are warned or you are asked to release people. So the IG is also under pressure from all of us, including yourselves, including all of us, executive, yourself, judiciary, big people, business people, billionaires, and so forth. Always saying, "Iyo ni mtu yangu, wachilia ule, fanya hiyo." We need to allow the National Police Service to do its work independently. And we agreed that with the IG that whatever, you know, and the IG has said it publicly that he will not interfere with the work that is done by his officers on the ground, except if the complaint is that the officers are corrupt and there is need to remedy the situation because of security concerns. So political interference and other kind of interference also is common, and I cannot deny that sometimes even senior police officers and senior executive members and senior parliamentary leaders occasion this, and it's something that we must deal with continuously. Somebody has asked why attacks are happening on operation. Yes, in Isiolo. You know, I don't need, because you are a local there, and I also come from the same region, I don't need to emphasize to you that the problem we are dealing with is not, this is a systemic issue, historical, and embedded in the society for a very long time. In the past, they have seen cases of operations where police come, They fight police, they run away, they fear, or they do this. In some cases where we've been successful, like the areas that I've explained to you, it was also like that. In 2025, by mid-2025, which was last year, in Elgeyo Marakwet, including Marakwet East, where I come from, the police were still attacking people, including they killed a priest when the operation was going on. But the police sustained that operation. Eventually they surrendered, and that's why we collected over 500 guns. So what we should be asking ourselves about the Isiolo and this and Meru and also Samburu side is, and I think you are right on this one, and Honorable Sarah Korere was right, sustained operations. Because if you cut a snake's tail and leave it to wander around, it will attack more people. So I agree with you that the operation should just be sustained until the end. It's also very sad. You saw the pictures of the ones that were got and killed and whatever, and you saw they are very young people, 17, 18, 19. You pity the ignorance that is in there. They feel powerful when they have that gun. Combined with young age, ignorance, uneducation, poverty, bad mentality, those people become emboldened to do things. And then hero worship and being encouraged and being told that you are fighting for your future. So, but if we sustain the operation the way we've done, I have no doubt that we will succeed. Why are we on the question of Changara division? That is an issue that is 20, 30 years old. So it is not going to be solved in just one morning. What we will only have to deal with is leaders using violence to resolve a boundary issue that has been with people for a long period of time. There is no value in that kind of, and I think the message to IG is that we need to make sure that the enforcement is done to avoid any leader using gangs to terrorize citizens. I've answered the roads in Dadaab and all that, marginalization, gangs in Garissa, I agree. This report, Mr. Chair, may need actually to be updated. Even when I was looking at it, a lot of update needs to be done, but also some places where it's called hotspot, really. When you ask a hotspot for what, they tell you for petty thieves and so forth. Maybe we need to just provide Parliament with hotspots of serious crimes. Then the rest of the issues that can be sorted can be dealt with. So I know Madogo in Garissa had also a similar challenge of gangs and so forth. Lastly, Honorable Caroli has asked about these gang members. I don't need to tell you, Caroli, you are not a stranger in Jerusalem. You know Kisumu, you know Nyalenda, you know all those places. You know what has been happening. It's not Kisumu alone, includes your own county. You know the same in Siaya, Migori. If you had come from another country, I would explain to you. You know for sure that Kisumu is a hotspot of gangs and goods. And it's not only you, everybody else here knows, because we have used Kisumu town, that as long as you are passing a particular area and they know certain leader is coming or whatever, you will either have boys asking you for kuchunga hour, or they are targeting you, a particular person, because another one has mobilized us against the other person, and they are not loyal to anybody. They are loyal to the one who pays. Who pays the piper calls the tune. And they are available, not Kisumu alone, all these goons and gangs are available for hire. The man who will take care of them today, will only be doing so because he has the capability and time. When time changes, another one will do it against him. And that's why we're having this conversation that we need to deal with gangs issue. Now, what happened to the Osotsi issue? The Osotsi issue was the DCI circulated the pictures. As you said, some of them presented, 3 of them presented themselves. The rest of the 13 or 14 ran out of the country to the neighboring country. So, but the IG and the DCI are on them, working with the authorities in the neighboring country, And we will arrest all of them eventually. As soon as they step in this country, they will all be arrested. And I hope that will be the first example to show that violence doesn't pay. But then, why, the other question, why goons and gangs thrive, is because the line is very thin, very thin. There is a thin line between a criminal and political supporters. And political supporters who are criminals when they are committing crime and when they are just present themselves as supporters. Now tomorrow, including you when you go for the rally on Sunday, can you for sure tell this house that you will not mobilize criminals to accompany you to the rally? You cannot say with certainty because, you can't say with certainty because you are already, even now in your mobilization preparation, now you are saying vijana wetu ya kutoka wapi, vijana kutoka wapi, your supporters, some people you are mobilizing people from Nairobi, your others mobilizing from Kakamega, others are from Luanda, we know them. But you see, they are citizens of Kenya. Before they commit a crime, you cannot say, I arrest them preemptively. Because sometimes they come empty-handed, reaching there, somebody supplies rungus and so forth. This issue can only be sorted, not by the police, because the numbers you are intending to have in that city are many, and they are also your opponents who are coming there to shout, as you shout one time, another one is shouting one time to you also yourself, or to, two time to another person. Then the police are being expected to stop people from saying two time or one time. It's a very difficult job. This is, in fact, I almost suggested that we might need actually a national convention of leaders sitting down and saying, my brother, let's just agree to do civilized campaign. Let's not incentivize young people for gangs, because until the moment something erupts inside the rally, the police officer will never have known that this is a gang. Sometimes we are accused, and I've seen police being accused that they are working hand in hand with the goons and whatever. Before anything erupts, you'll never know this one is a goon, Okay, look at the case of Nairobi during Mandamano. Watchmen, business people, prepare themselves for the Mandamano. So what do? They put watchmen around their business shops, and then give them that karungu. Say, okay, you take care of the whatever. On a normal day, a watchman, nobody has a problem with. So when the police are now doing the operation and a watchman is standing on the door, what would the media do? They take pictures and say, you see, those are the goons being protected by the police, working hand in hand with the police. Those are the complications that sometimes never get explained. But I can tell you from the bottom of my heart, from where I stand, I abhor any kind of goons and gangs. And we are trying our best, and I know the heart of the Inspector General of Police, we are trying our best under difficult circumstances with a police force that is also, we have not recruited people in the last many years. We are very excited about this 10,000 recruits recently who are graduating in October, end of August, September. And we are waiting with bated breath to have them so that they can bolster the numbers, and we should be ready for the elections. I thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you so much. And I remember that I will ask that we go to the phase 2.
Chair, just a short clarification, Chair.
Just a minute. It's already midday, and we still have 14 questions that the minister needs response to. So kindly, I will ask, maybe probably we can. The minister is still available. He will still be around if we need. Actually, on the issue of the gang, maybe I don't know whether I need to inform too. I'm aware of a meeting that took place last month with the entire IG and their team, actually discussing and looking into the interventions of mitigating the issue of gangs in the country. I'm sure maybe it's pressure of time or part of your strategy not to disclose that.
Chair, mine is not a statement, no a question.
I know, I want to move to, I will ask you, Balosi, because of the members, I will tell you, because I know what is Kapondi, please.
Chair, just a short clarification. I just wanted to ask Waziri, on the issue of Changara, do you have a formal response to what the speaker asked you to?
Not yet, Mr. Chairman, because of the complications that come. Because he had said we go and sort it and then report. We haven't reached that stage because of the processes we need to follow. But maybe because Maybe we agree that I can give you an updated progress report in a month's time. That should help in the process through the speaker.
Maybe latest update on what is happening on the streets in the country in regards to the issue of the protest on the fuel?
The country is calm, and Kenyans are going about their business peacefully. Of course, the police officers are on high alert to ensure that there are no criminal activities that take advantage of the statements that have recently been witnessed in the country. And should there be anything that is illegal, we have no issue with any legal demonstrations or picketing and so forth. Our focus is to ensure that law and order is observed, even as people exercise their constitutional rights across the country. So far, the country is calm.
Thank you. Balosi, what is it, please? Because I will really implore that we go to the... It's okay. Thank you so much. Thank you for understanding. Nothing, Kaunya, please. We need to move to the other. So, Waziri, on the issue of the phase 2, I don't know whether you call phase 2 or round 2, we have got 14 questions from majority of members seated in the House. And I don't know, because I think we did agree that we start with the members who had shown up. For those who have not, and the responses are ready, we can also have it, table it on the House, because it's also the property of the House. And I think based on what we have agreed or discussed, we take maybe those members who are here, and those of maybe largely national interest. And I don't know your discretion. I know there is a big issue on the issue from the Professor Guyo Jaldesa on the issue of establishment of multi-agency. Then, of course, there is also an issue on the regarding insecurity in Samburu. I think there are so many in the House, plus their counterparts, the Meru. Then there is also the issue request for statement regarding the status into the murder of Miss Brigidi Njogi being sought by Honorable Machua Waithaka. And maybe those are to us. Then request for statement regarding abduction of residents. I think this was responded to on Garissa County. And of course, Mombasa and the Kakuta, the issue of the Kitengela. Okay, Nyenze, what was yours? Sorry? Motor vehicle, the very, it's a very simple one.
If with your permission, Chair, to save time.
I'm saying it's an easy one. It's a straightforward one. That's what I've said.
Chairman,
yes.
With your permission, so that we save time, let me run through these questions without reading word by word, because already the statements have been submitted to the members. So I will emphasize the areas of greater concern, starting with the first, which was from statement, abduction of residents Uluho, sub-county. Is that by Honorable Humi, I think? So I'll say, I don't want to reproduce the statement, but regarding the whereabouts of Mr. Mohammed Yaro, on 12 February 2026 at about 9:35 hours, Mr. Marian Aden reported that at Ulugo police station that her husband Mohammed Yaro has been missing since 6 February 2026. The matter was booked and a missing person signal was circulated to all police stations across the country. Investigation commenced immediately under inquiry number that of the DCI in Ulugo. However, on 7th March 2026, Mr. Ibrahim Kuso Hassan and Mr. Abdul Shakur Mohammed reported that the missing person had been found on 2nd March 2026 in Minjila area within Tana River County and had since been returned to his residence in Ulugo Township. Police officer verified his presence at his residence. Arrangements are underway to record his statement once he is medically stable. Mr. Mohammed is therefore not in the custody of any state agency. He is currently in his residence in Uluko. And instead of repeating the rest of the statements, I think that should settle that matter, that he is found, he is at his residence. Further statements will be now taken to determine why exactly he was found somewhere in Tana River. and I think the honourable member should concede that we should leave it there. The last part of it is safeguards in place to prevent abductions, arbitrary arrest, and forced disappearance. And I think that's an interest of more members, including Professor, because this is the statement now that captures the essence of dealing with this issue of abductions. I just want to say, Chair, in brief, that under this administration, there have been, where cases of abductions have been reported, a number of cases we have established that person was, they were found, in one case there were a mental health issue, another one was a person who had crossed the border for personal reasons to use Somalia. Now in this case somebody was found in Tana River and so forth. So we are happy every time cases are raised like this and the DCI is able to establish the whereabouts of that person. Of course there are cases where we are still investigating to find out where they are. But there have also been very political cases where people abduct themselves. You know, that the case of a member of parliament, there's a case of a former minister. So these cases are also becoming rampant. There was a case of a young man, and if you want to understand how the judiciary is very unfair to DCI, there was a young man during the protest who was reported by family to have been abducted. And then the judge was so harsh on the part of the DCI. And then that person it was established that he was enjoying his life with his friends. The judge has never apologized to the National Police Service of the DCI. He instead shielded that young man and protected him from accountability. What does that mean? It means that in future, nobody will take seriously cases of abduction, because even where there is real abduction, nobody will take seriously because the judiciary is playing around with serious matter. That young man should have been held into account. The same way with these other politically organized abductions, if we really have to go forward as a nation. However, let me say that, Chair, the following safeguards have been put in place to deal with abductions, arbitrary arrest, and enforced disappearance. One, as per the Constitution, anyone who has been arrested by the police must be produced in court according to the Constitution within 24 hours. We have institutions meant to prevent abuse and accountability. That includes IPOA, Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, the Office of Director of Public Prosecution, Judiciary, among others, that will ensure accountability. We are also bound by international law, including International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, Convention Against Torture, African Charter on Human and People's Rights, among others. Police officers are being trained also on these issues, including the current recruits. That suffices for question one. Question two for Honorable Guyo Lubo. No, Honorable. The abduction is for Mr. Guyo Lubo. The Member of Parliament for Isiolo County, has requested to be apprised for abduction of Mr. Guyo Lubo within Isiolo town. And I want to say that Abshiro Guyo Boru reported at Isiolo Police Station on 19 December 2025 that while in the company of victim of Merti near Kina stage in Isiolo town, they were preparing to travel to Ramu in Mandera to purchase goods when a white Toyota Probox motor vehicle bearing KDT registration prefix and carrying 3 occupants approached them. 2 of the occupants alighted, forcibly restrained Mr. Guyo Lubo, bundled him into the vehicle and sped off. The incident occurred very swiftly, preventing the complainant from capturing the full registration details. Members of the public did not intervene due to the speed of which the incident occurred. Investigation commenced immediately. The scene was visited and documented. Complaint recorded. His statement recorded statement. Efforts to identify additional witnesses have not yielded results yet. Efforts also to obtain CCTV footage have been unsuccessful. The DCI is investigating 6 mobile numbers, including that of the victim analysis, and preliminary findings indicate that only 2 calls were made after the incident, and analysis of associated contacts is ongoing. Measures being taken to establish the whereabouts of Mr. Lubo The DCI is investigating and doing forensic analysis, including the call data records. All necessary resources are being deployed to do so. What do we do to, in such cases, to communicate with the family? The government is implementing several measures, including anti-abduction unit to respond swiftly and investigate abduction cases across the country. Members of public are encouraged also to report to the DCI through Fichua Kwa DCI, and also we need to strengthen community policing for close working relationship. That is the response to the second statement. The third is the statement regarding the rising cases of insecurity in parts of Western Kenya. I think that was asked by Honorable Emase. She's not here, and the statement has been provided. Mr. Chair, that should suffice unless the clarification in writing are submitted to us according to your directions. The next one is a statement of the insecurity affecting teacher service in Isiolo Kipsing region by Honorable Mumina Bonaya. Part 1, measures being taken by government to guarantee the safety and security of teachers serving in Isiolo Kipsing region, of course following cases of banditry and the killing of Mr. William Maingi Katobu, who is a 58-year-old deputy principal of Leparua Secondary School. The deceased sustained gunshots, wound to chest, and multiple stab wounds at the rib cage. The body was, and he passed on, and the body was moved to Isiolo Level 4 Hospital. Investigation were commenced. This is a statement that came earlier, so around the time that the incident had just happened. Armed attackers, it was reported that armed attackers emerged from a thicket forest near there, and the deceased was shot. It's also important to note that on the same day there were other related security incidents, including an attack on police vehicle carrying a multi-agency patrol team, which regrettably resulted in the death of an NPR officer. The following measures therefore have been put in place. 1, both foot and mobile patrols have been enhanced along the Isiolo-Kipsing corridor and surrounding areas as part of the general operations in the area. Multi-agency security operation under Operation Dumisha Amani are ongoing in the region. Security agencies have strengthened intelligence collection mechanism and improved coordination sharing among the security units, and regular security barazas are being conducted in the area. The status of investigation into the bandit attack targeting teachers. Honorable members, investigation into the murder of William is under active investigation. 4 witnesses have already recorded statement. Preliminary investigation indicated that the incident is linked to general banditry along the Isiolo-Kipsing corridor, where armed criminals target motorists. However, no suspect has been arrested and no individual is yet to be conclusively linked to the offense. Immediate long-term interventions, as I said, the mobile foot patrols, stepped-up intelligence, regular public barazas, use of the police operations, recruitment of NPR and working with them, and we are in the process of getting additional equipment, including anti-personnel units. Statement regarding security in Kwale County by criminal gangs. Fatuma Masito, I think she's not here, so the statement has been provided, Mr. Chair, and it suffices unless written clarification are sent back to us for further. Honorable Kakuta Mamai has requested to be informed on the status of investigation of the shooting incident that occurred at C&M Lounge in Kitengela. And I'll go straight to the point that the shooting incident was reported at Kitengela Police Station on 25th of January 2026 at approximately 3 a.m. under OB number indicated. An officer from the DCI, Isinya, promptly processed the scene and collected relevant exhibits. Preliminary investigation indicated that the incident allegedly arose from the confrontation between 2 civilians and police officers. The victim, Mr. Kevin Maseri and Mr. Joseph Musondu, sustained gunshot injuries and was rushed to Saitoti Hospital before being referred to Kajiado Level 5 Hospital. Mr. Kevin Maseri was later referred to Metropolitan Hospital, Buruburu, where he was pronounced dead on arrival. Police file was opened, several witnesses identified, interviewed, and their statement recorded, including individuals captured on CCTV footage. 4 police officers who were armed at the time were also interviewed. The officers surrendered their firearms and ammunition, which were forwarded together with spent cartridges recovered from the scene to the DCI National Forensic Laboratory for ballistic analysis. An autopsy conducted on the deceased to confirm the cause of death as gunshot injuries. Upon completion, the investigation officer recommended murder charges in relation to the death of Kevin Maseri and attempted murder charges in relation to the death of Kevin Maseri against the following suspects. One, I think the murder was not Kevin Maseri, it was the guy who was together, which is Joseph Casio, yeah. The document should reflect as such. Mr. Samuel Bett, Commissioner of Police, DCI Headquarters. Mr. Vincent Kipkorir, Commissioner of Police, the County Criminal Investigation, Narok County. Boniface Ngove Wambua, Chief Inspector, the Sub-County Criminal Investigation Officer, Mariakani Sub-County. Abdullahi Wako Elias Moha, Administration Police Constable, the escort to the Governor of Isiolo County. And Amos Yondu Ngumbi, a civilian firearm holder. The police file was forwarded to the office of the DPP for perusal and legal advice, where it's currently pending. Reasons for the delay in prosecution despite recommendation DCI. As I said, the processes are ongoing within the ODPP, and I'm sure the DPP, after finalizing an analysis, will take the relevant legal action. The following measures have been instituted to ensure impartiality and uphold public confidence. Investigations are subject to oversight by IPOA. Officers facing criminal charges are interdicted and upon conviction are subjected to disciplinary action. Officers implicated in this are excluded from investigation to process to prevent conflict of interest. All suspects are treated equally under the law without preferential treatment. Investigation files are submitted to ODPP for independent legal review and direction. The National Police Service continues to provide updates to the public within the confines of the law. The rest should follow, I think, as in the statement. The next is statement regarding disappearance of Mr. Shukri Hassan. This is a statement by Mandera West MP. It's not here. Mr. Chair, I will take it that the statement be adopted unless there are written clarification. And then statement regarding circumstances surrounding the burial multiple identified bodies at Kericho County Cemetery. Who came up with this statement? Beatrice Kemei, she's not here. And I have addressed also this matter, the DCI, myself, also the general public, but the statement is here. And for public interest, 3 persons were charged in regard to this